Diabetes Destroyed, the quick and simple way to fixing your blood sugar.
And inside, you'll be given the entire diabetes reversing protocol discovered by Joseph Borden and his team of expert researchers. This treatment plan is based on cutting-edge scientific discoveries and research, but everything has been organized into an easy-to-follow guide that anyone can use.
Inside Diabetes Destroyed, you'll be given a complete list of niacin-rich fruits, meats, and vegetables that are essential to healing your insulin production.
And the second list of foods, minerals, and supplements that contain the organic chemicals your body needs to absorb this niacin and transport it to your insulin-producing organs. Then, you simply combine everything in the way you're shown inside the guide. And the result is the total destruction of the free fatty acids that have been poisoning your body. The key to why this works is that when you deliver niacin to your pancreas and liver in the very specific way we tell you to, it then dissolves those FFAs, eliminating them from your organs, your cells, and even your bloodstream. And once that happens, two things occur. First, your vital organs can once again produce insulin because there are no FFAs there to stop them. And second, your cells are no longer saturated with these FFAs, which means they're able to once again absorb the insulin your body is now producing.
So in other words, by simply combining the different foods, minerals, and vitamins you'll be given inside Diabetes Destroyed, you can rapidly restore your insulin production to non-diabetic levels while entirely reversing your insulin resistance. And as a result, you'll see every single symptom of your diabetes permanently disappear within just 28 days of using the Diabetes Destroyed treatment protocol.
Plus, because this program allows you to destroy your entire buildup of FFAs in those 4 short weeks, by the time you finish, you'll never need to force another dripping insulin shot or side-affected medication inside your body again. And you'll finally be able to enjoy all those foods you love, but that you thought were banned from you forever. From juicy steaks to French fries, birthday cake to mashed potatoes, once your insulin production is normal, you can eat all of this stuff with no problems. Though, of course, it's always a good thing to eat in moderation.
To date, more than 56,422 Americans just like you have already used Diabetes Destroyed to lower their blood sugar levels, regain their energy, and become completely diabetes-free.
Jan Boer from Wilmington, Delaware writes, "When I first started watching your presentation, I was very skeptical. It just didn't seem possible that someone could cure their diabetes in 28 days, especially without the use of medications. But because my husband's situation was desperate, I figured there was no harm in trying this. So I ordered your guide, gave it to him, and waited to see what would happen. Well, let me tell you, I was absolutely amazed by the results. Within 2 weeks, his blood sugar went from a 400 to a 140. And even more impressively, it stayed between 140 and 110 ever since, even though it's been months since he used your guide. You've healed my husband, and we're both forever grateful." Mario Vaughn of Tacoma, Washington recently wrote to say, "I finally had to tell my doctor to stop running tests on me. He just couldn't believe that my diabetes was gone, even after he saw my blood sugar levels and the lab results with his own eyes. That was 9 months ago, and I haven't had a single symptom of my diabetes since, even though I stopped taking my medications right at the end of your 28-day program. Here's to you. Thanks for saving my life and confusing the heck out of my doctor."
Carl Masterson of Rogers, Arkansas says, "Diabetes Destroyed has given me my life back. Before I discovered your program, I was a slave to my disease. Every morning I'd force another needle into my skin, check my blood sugar levels, and feel exhausted as I struggled to make it through the day.
Since starting your program, however, everything's changed. I haven't had an insulin shot in more than 5 months, and my doctor has even gone so far as to declare me diabetes-free. My feelings of gratitude are overwhelming, and I hope you'll accept my sincerest praise." And Jim Pape of Pine Forest, Florida says, "I was really affected by what you mentioned in the video, the part about how diabetics die 10 years sooner than non-diabetics. A decade is a whole lot of time, especially once you get to be in your 60s. And I started thinking to myself, if I don't do something, I'm going to miss out on several years I could be spending with my grandchildren. I'll never get to see them graduate high school or get their first job or even get married. Instead, I'll be gone." So I did go ahead and try out your program, and that turned out to be one of the wisest decisions I've ever made. Within just 28 days, every single sign of my diabetes had vanished, just like you said it would. It's a year later, and I'm still diabetes-free. Thank you for giving me back a decade of precious time I can spend with my grandchildren.
Now, those are just a few of the thousands of thank you notes Joseph and I receive every month from people who got their lives back with Diabetes Destroyed.
They tell us how happy they are to no longer depend on painful insulin shots each morning, how free they feel now, how they don't need to check their blood sugar levels constantly or worry about if what they're eating is okay. And now they feel a very profound sense of relief when they realize that, statistically, they've reclaimed a staggering 10 years of their lives. Given the extensively documented results we're seeing with this program, along with the fundamentally sound science behind it, you can probably guess why both Joseph and I believe that this is one of the most important medical discoveries in the last 2 centuries.
Diabetes Destroyed is 100% natural, incredibly simple to use, and it reverses every single sign or symptom of your diabetes in just 4 weeks.
And there's just nothing else like this treatment protocol in existence. I mean, yes, of course you could keep taking those oral medications you've been prescribed, or stabbing yourself with insulin shots day after day, but those medications all come with severe side effects, everything from nausea to low energy, kidney damage, to high cholesterol. They cost you between $600 and $1,300 per year in copays and doctor visits, up to $13,000 in out-of-pocket expenses in the next 10 years. And none of them actually cure your diabetes. They just give you another day on life support. I guess another alternative would be to start following an ultra-strict diet. But if you choose to do this, you will constantly see a massive red X slashed across almost every food you want to eat but can't. You'll always be limiting starch, limiting carbs, limiting sugars, and an ultra-strict diet isn't going to destroy the free fatty acids that stop insulin production and create insulin resistance. Those FFAs are inside you no matter what you weigh or what you eat, and even 3 salads a day for 10 years aren't going to make them go away. I don't know about you, but none of those options seem like real choices at all, especially when there's a safe, natural, and side effect-free diabetes treatment protocol right in front of you. Something that only costs an extra $14 total in groceries. And that completely eliminates every single symptom or sign of your diabetes in 4 weeks or less, guaranteed.
When you stop to consider all of this, it should be clear why originally I told Joseph we should charge a minimum of $289 for Diabetes Destroyed.
That's less than what it will cost you to see one specialist. Way less than what it will cost you in copay for your medications over the coming months. And unlike those medications, diets, or other Band-Aid approaches,
Diabetes Destroyed addresses your diabetes right at the source, healing your insulin production and mercilessly destroying the disease in a matter of weeks.
So really, asking people to pay $289 for a permanent diabetes cure seems incredibly reasonable when you think about it, right? But here's the thing. As I already mentioned, I believe Joseph and I have a moral duty to get this cure to as many people as possible. Because it doesn't matter whether it's you who suffers from type 2 diabetes, or your spouse, your parent, your child, or a dear friend. Without this treatment, there is a very real chance that any diabetic or pre-diabetic out there will suffer greatly and die early. 10 years taken off of your life is a staggeringly large amount of time. I mean, just think about everything that happened to you between the ages of 20 and 30. Think about all the memories you made, the relationships you built, the great things you accomplished. Now imagine what it would feel like if all that were suddenly and cruelly taken, snatched away from you by the cruel hands of diabetes. It doesn't have to be this way. All you need is the treatment protocol that I'm sharing with you right now. And given that this is a matter of life and death, there's simply no chance that either Joseph or I could live with ourselves if we made this treatment too costly for you to afford. So instead, we're going to make a deal with you.
If you'll make the commitment to completely eliminate your diabetes in the next 4 weeks, then we won't ask you to pay $289 or $189 or even $89 for Diabetes Destroyed.
Instead, you'll get the entire program, the food, vitamins, and mineral lists, the step-by-step instructions on how to combine them, and the 28-day schedule you need to follow for just $39. To get started now,